ebe word was super but Mensah we brutal very analytical or din koma na say wa no unya botre na analyze it now opin wa adwene no say you want to listen to wisdom you will not be in fact you will not be disappointed kra making Ivan innocent and Mensah no wo menche ha me ne no be starting comedy no ni nuanom nkan no ba ye be da omu nyina di na e de ache ho senior na bokode e ise ya che na ni mom to say
oh nyame adom ahoden ho good to see you
good to see you too bro good to see you bro but ye be bad DVL no so but em say oba na me di nkomo bi fa Ablekuma North ne ni nsem ho
okay
me sure say we follow the conversation over the period e na ye ho as a nation ye did ne sa na akoye Saudi ye bi na ya san aba na tweka sa what is wrong with us as a people?
I think the can mention what here for it's sad when you are about for how many months in the year abano you to December somewhere it's almost 6 months in the year and the constituency is here to have a representation. And for many of Ghanaians, the majority of the people within our political, they don't care. It's not much of a concern because after all, you don't know now. And it's exactly what happened at Washa. Say you're transfer for the whole 4 years, a constituency and your representative. So whatever it is, you expect by now, whatever the problem is, can resolve your way. Because the paramount interest and yet which political party and the political representative. But the people out there, no why and no meet me when the Democrats say MP. But you are such a very terrible president. You 4 years, I will be in your MP. And this will be say so win 6 months, what is the problem? That is the idea. But per the constitutional provision, it is totally illegal to go this long run without a representation. The constitutional right now, these individuals enjoy under the 1996 constitution. You've taken it away.
Exactly.
And you don't see any clear path line there that why the Electoral Commissioner, the institution that is supposed to take both steps and ensure, say, we resolve this particular matter. Nothing straightforward. Just there is no clear-cut path, and that has to do with Adebia Mekase. The institutional weaknesses are over the years, I jeopardize the prospect of our democracy in Benin, because in a country where you have robust, very independent, fair-minded Electoral Commission, whatever the situation is, you need just about a month or whatever to do whatever it is. But and I'm saying over the year you're going to elections, the scars of this electoral misunderstanding, no kind of fast or more resolve some of the issues now. And it creates a whole lot of the first scene in this country, Amana Baba say if we go ahead to do this thing, what will be the possible political backlash in us? Because don't forget, people are seeking to protect their job. Electoral Commission is the way. Or not sure whether petition Yedakogu president and him asking so I don't know what is happening, but for me, feeding into the ineffectiveness, institutions enjoy over the years, and I will not blame any political party. Although they are actors, they have key interest, and whichever way we are political actors, who say MPP 4 years, they dig. These are political parties with political interest. You can't begrudge them when they rise to the occasion and demand, say, we do this, do that. But you as an institution, we are fair-minded, we are focused, and you know what you want. When there's a clear-cut part line, and the banana for who said this is the line, say na yeko abano. I got 10 polling stations. Pink sheets in Ohio, and will be one day new. And now you think that on legitimate grounds, you have legal justifications to annul some of the votes from some of the constituencies now. Provide a basis, then you order a re-election at that particular polling stations and so forth. But we cannot continue to subject these people to a long haul of not having a representation because of somebody's ineptitude or incompetence. But for us, it's normal because my culture persisted for how many years? 4 good years, and we never deemed those things as injustice. The people were denied representation for 4 good years. Development, yes, and common sakano. By now, I'm expecting to be creating me a Electoral Commission for the 4 years in the name of Monsan Kam, one Sankano. I would deny more representation, but nobody is taking those issues up. Parliament sat aloof. and for them it was business as usual because that time you got to abandon opposition you see, so those dynamics and those weaknesses now are creating anomalize it some of these inefficiencies. I would think so we are good to go, and it's the reason why some of these things are persistent. I think that the pressure be out high. Let us put on the Electoral Commission, and they should make sure that they do the right thing.
Ivan, in all of this conversation, you know, Electoral Commission clearly, MIATS say one more pink sheet because of the chaotic scenes here, also a coalition center. Okay. The electoral officer, in fact, the returning officer for that particular constituency, you know, I can open and we have him on tape and record say or say the pink sheet Ira.
Okay.
Fast forward, pink sheet Ira. You decided say after we rely on the two political parties. Indeed, NDC for Beka say one on so who on pink sheet nibi. Then you decided say you use the NPP pink sheet, you know, and you say a scam.
Okay.
To work with it, and as we hear now, no, the NDC themselves, you know, so say the so say you use just one party, and the original pink sheet, you know, but a scanned pink sheet, and in all of this, also they say protection. Ghana police protection, and you'll be able to call the election for whoever won. What are we doing to ourselves as a people? Are we not still going around the same situation without a clear pathway?
It's true, because it's a problem. Electoral Commission elections now, you know how we do our election, even at the electoral area. These are things that are done publicly. Electoral Commission, on what basis are they telling us pink sheet Ira? The pink sheets, you know, where you give copies to all the participants in the elections. So say Electoral Commission pink sheet Ira, NDC pink sheet or MPP pink sheet or other political parties, you know. There were people on the ground who observed the process, and as for if they are really serious, they really want to do a transparent process involving all the actors, because so find a pink sheet. Getting people to agree is another thing. So in your process to recovering these things, you know, you involve all these actors in the process. So the eventual outcome now will be accepted by all.
Exactly.
And so if say Electoral Commission pink sheet other political parties pink sheet then you send something fishy. You understand?
Exactly.
Something fishy has gone on. And it's obi pink sheet can be the first pink sheet no be crane there no be so there. The process was it captured on video? What are some of the so I think that you see the inefficiencies in our electoral process, you know, prior to the elections, but people thought Jean Mensah and other people but you see some of these processes it's very sad. Ghana, a journey from 1992 to where we are. We've gone through a lot of transitions. Unfortunately for us, you know, we've been very kind to ourselves. Encounter any violence. Exactly. We think it's okay. But trust me, you put your electoral process under a microscope. Now you review critically, you could see that there are a lot of deficiencies that we need as a people to address, because and then you're working over a time will come. Some of these petty misunderstandings as if may generate into something bigger. And you know, say electoral misunderstanding that part of the world now are creating a lot of graveyard in Africa. All the from Sudan as a result of some of these things. You understand? So I think we need to take cue from some of these things. Now you move on as a country. Say some of these petty things are ever up. How do we address them? Exactly. But we don't avail our mind to some of these things. We can't just say it's a constituency now, about 99%. We are done. The process was successful, and that was okay. It will take just a constituency or an electoral area to start the fire in this country. And if you are not careful, it will consume the entire political, democratic way now you set it up. So for me, I think if there is anybody to blame, it's the Electoral Commission.
What will be your recommendation moving forward? And this is for someone dear in their minds. Almost here, say 62 of the polling stations, rerun elections, because they say, they will not accept that narrative. Say some scanned copies bina be used in the akekeka. The MPP is also firm on the situation. Say one more abatuano 62 no scan now mona. I see akabe 3 pen, just so that they complete the whole discussion. Sir. almost scan copies no legitimate enough to be the game changer in helping resolve this whole matter in the space. So say no advisedly no DM na ubetimi aka empenifo a money electoral process ni the kekeka.
So I think we need to do a broader stakeholder engagement that level. Now you make sure we review the process, because this particular year's elections, I give us a certain template. Maybe over the years we thought everything was okay, but this year some of these fallout, I give us a template going forward. What are some of the things that we can do to resolve some of these things? Because there are some constituencies I bet say pink sheet we say media ira because nipa no nim say we lose elections and now ankoyi mana pink sheet no better than the baby. So who is that person who is monitoring just to ensure that we get a credible document betumi to baby at the end of the day no obi abeti ase. You cannot conduct an election in an open space and tell me say pink sheet ira. And I said nobody at the area no.
Especially when by law krano na we say omu post to pink sheet the polling station ho. I'm surprised.
Yes.
And a two. She say eja almost jacoto and yes almost po ye na ye huni. Eja to baby ana I say holding place ya electoral commission materials no. Esanko keeping it for some time.
Yes, because the most paramount key thing at the center of this whole thing, so that particular thing now is an inherent constitutional power that has been granted to that person.
Exactly.
No flimsy excuses, any justification will be back to take away that particular thing. So at any point in time, we are voting the the central thing it has to be guided and has to be protected. So some of these inefficiencies in a creating around can just make it say vote in any panakwakotono ayira and I kwash for no apparent reason. For me, I think that these are some of the things I say now you monitor process who say beyond pink sheet, what are some, because pink sheet are papers. So it means that we are not going to have access to anything, that the election should be declared null and void. It doesn't make sense. So for me, I think that we need to move a step further. I give you a certain template, say I don't know who mistakes and I build upon it. And this thing that has happened, I said we need to go beyond just pink sheet, paper. We need to build a system. Numbers say that here, even if it's about even recording the counting process, then you will have a video evidence. You understand? Video evidence. Demand for phones. Can you delete it? Yes. So as since these are some of the things, because pink sheet, me pink sheet me who we must sign, I take over all the place. But if there is something going forward, say the video, the Electoral Commission, the camera, I say video the process, and I say something. Who say apart from the pink sheet, there is something out there. Give you us that evidential value in terms of some of these things. And yes, people will always try to exploit the weaknesses of some of these things because and then I walk away or chinabino and kobasa and I never be a yeti nipa no mo hana ye dinner more consistency ye dinner more MP in terms of development. What do they do? You understand? And fortunately for us, and I say fortunately or unfortunately, you think some people went 4 years without they would have win 6 months. But we know that a clear infringement of your constitutional provisions, and we can't just sit. So I think the Electoral Commission need to wake up, making sure that some of these things will be addressed. Whatever it is, they need to move in just to make sure they declare whoever that won that particular election. If they think results fractured and cannot be used, and now parties involved don't agree. Now say even running those constituencies, they should just to get the people. My paramount interest is getting the people a representative. That is the most important. Everything beyond that,
I was saying Ivan na Otenikano, Ivan Che innocent na Otenikano. Mensaka Miami ni abema Farouk Osman. We a national communication team member dema NPP Amayokyo Tino. Farouk, Bogodier.
This year, why
a debruta? Why
a experience? You learn from a lot of mistakes.
Exactly.
And life, like as a course, and you take it. So it's 1 year right. And put the right measures, you will never pass the course.
Exactly.
So we are still trying to learn the system we find ourselves.
Great.
So
great.
God for today.
Now, and come on, to Suina, said ya, no as a nation, ye because a building nation, because Ghana should be the paramount winner in all of this conversation. Me sure so me ya adwene sa. Ablekuma North N7 6 months down. We are still talking about the same thing. Who know what is happening in the space. From baby what is happening?
Okay, madam, mada, wa hwefo ase no ti for no ti what intercase no ti almost. Na yenda Ghana fo a omagibre agidwa omohwe CTV. Let me say infringing on somebody's right and a people's right is not about squeezing or maybe trying to make the person uncomfortable, but this is human rights. A drum nipa bi na nyagidie bi say yento abama osimase na obrentin no mbedi enim na enhihye pa ye pe wo ye constituency am emfa ne so na ye sanka. Ablekuma North is, I think, next to my constituency. I've been the deputy youth organizer for Kyei Central for 2 times under party board.
Okay.
I was last year's elections election be a BC like even John Dramani Mahama, His Excellency Akasa, I say Abana he knew we will win, but not up to this extent.
Yeah.
So elections here, say something can say you know you politics to change. The dynamics of that very election was extraordinary. Nobody understands that very election that went on. But maybe at times, you know, to a craft for no to money for. And now we are all learning to be politicians or good ones, not just think about Ghana first.
Yes.
Not your party,
exactly.
Not my party. But if you say, oh, man, kind baby, you say, tell you, the second year first. You do baby and pompons will be like I say, Otto Abano, your kind machine be kind, that's why we have the scan copies. We have the scan copies. After everything I assign you, picture picture now. EC for so ascan it. They also have their copy of what. So in case they may be saying thing EC for so many scan copies. Yeah. So Abani say now 2 parties no no as the referees one say after elections these are the scan copies that we have from each and every police station. So in all say can say be come deeper then we can say EC for so because EC you know a referee.
Yes.
And so the election is becoming heated. Now you have to protect human interest and people's among for vote to be a sort of we also say 5 o'clock after Aba. Now when to me you as the EC, why is your interest?
Yeah.
As a one you that's what I say because me the MPP ni upa can you say me the amepe and this because they also pay. But you as the referee play neutral. They only say no. After everything, almost battle their pink sheets near there. But me, as the EC, I have the certified the friend saying pink sheets. We want to scan copy with my phones. Like they said, almost your more scan copies. Number use scan copies in there. You might use like 3 police stations. Even without those 3 police stations, no crown, the MPPs are winning.
Okay.
So why wouldn't you give them the chance at least to accumulate the right things that's supposed to be accumulated? Nanka, yenya. Figures name. After all, Ablekuma North has been in the hands of the MPP for not today.
Yeah.
So winning, the woman has tried. I'm telling you, the woman have not tried a lot. Because who saw Yejima or Ye former Juma. Excuse me, let me say, some of our people were very complacent about your power until we win a higher stronghold. Imagine saying that you lose Domiko Abenya. It tells you about signal. Say the cost of this is
yeah.
And let's say lose a can't South. Because this constituencies are strongholds and say the Dakra a baby. But Emira's when say almost to a banomity. There's also some agrona would do. And yet it's now Babajina by campaign me by MPP. No, Obi or Pegana see MP.
Yeah.
Or mine no Koswa obedi. Now without Ghana, where is MPP? Without Ghana, where is NDC? Ghana Moon MPP. Into your best easy. At times, but actually also have declare a month for dignity, a month for good, Yamani security. So what is the president current? What is the now? I'm not of parliament are still you hold the front foot of the parliament. So why wouldn't you allow this very one constituency? Fine, let it go. After all, even up to now, 3 polling stations. They bear me. So my career research will ground 3 polling stations. I say to abandon the cross, let me do it. And they more power because they are strong goals of the MPP.
Okay.
Ask yourself why are they not pushing for certain say 3 police stations na kind of pen. Then 2 have an ibium. Now I mean they say Biokita protest ID card your trouble who be ambe toraba. Omo tu wi ayanka na because of honey can count omo nim into no person man say in fact because the EC has the first scan copy.
I see.
The pink sheets. So in this no as a yankasa ye ha Ablekuma North for no in a way.
It's unfortunate.
You never we were easy now. Say man ni fa mu di no. Say you say and this for the campaign is ye be you fine. But money need money we am
exactly.
But the motion is money security no find any you not declare. Who tna amount for far with this. So any no na wo ha.
Okay.
Who tna amount for far with this. See na recently Jessica Echama MP some financial education sector. Jessica almost 35 million. And they are each
Ablekuma North. So far.
You see, I'm calling tourism without MP.
Yes.
At least, let me say, maybe constituency say I was part of the team. I got chair assets. The demand students. It encourages. Also, we have somebody because here you help. I'm not meet you. I'm more fee, more assets. After everything, he came there, sharing yoga, sharing water for them to ride their eyes.
Okay. Mami ndawase. Okay. All right. Abizia Farouk Osman, NPP communication team member, and mete Martin Nkano, we very brutal. Solo, Mami Mawakwaba. Solomon Owusu. Movement for change.
Yeah, party.
Senior man.
Party. Party na bemowie.
They say one your license no.
No enchekra.
It is a more mini.
Oh na office e ba agro dia na. Dia tira me sora na me tie. Na ka me madwuma nsan. Ye wie ya ye call election say na 12 candidates na contest.
Sir.
Ye wie o mo na ka onyina o so mo go for kasa.
Sir.
MPP ni and this MPP go to buy to be omba. But there be some frame ya me ba.
Oba.
Me gina mu gidi because adwuma na.
Is more focus, more vision.
Yeah, the way is be focus. You have go for me to say so afrafranta there. General me to say go for we have some free moon. Or how determined our souls are. And come move me agro.
I see. Young Cosway now Ablekuma nsem ya na me pesa wo take akra na afi you run some other areas in mu. I mean, what is happening? At the end the way forward. Me pesa wo hwe the way forward to all of this enkomodie.
Bedas mechia menuanuma moshia Ivan ode mechia
Farouk Osman. Yeah.
Mechia was watching.
Pa
Aba mma ebi ni o.
Oh yeah. Ba choko wasem so. Ebi amba shebe.
So mo nkwa kodi, o mo nkwa da be fi o.
Solo.
Nkwa to no mo ye party akese.
Solo yen den. Na Ablekuma North in 7.
So jani. Me feel say the first year was here to solve some problems. Also mo coach district electoral officer and returning officer. Or prosecute immediately. They have to be prosecuted. It's a crime against humanity. Because you see, me say me ni Farouk kase almost scam copies. And yen be scam copies the day adimo. And then yen this is scam copies. In fact, omu me no class scam copies. So make me a question and fire him. But the body mandated to organize our election. The EC. No original pin sheet in Kwani here a matter in all this. On any pin sheet way.
Initially, because say to Kwani ye, you know, omu yira no, omu actually, and Obeka say omu hubi.
And I don't understand obwa. You see, corruption, no, a wuremwa na part of a grand agenda. A business gone bad. All of a sudden, electoral commissioner on organizing election this would need the original pin sheet. If it's can't copy, it's called Quenibi. And Tian Cochino. But they say returning officer back, you knew baby and Obeka on your what paper and say, oh, paper, go once. No, what's the cry?
That returning officer, no, and a say, oh, no, he's not ready to use either a scanned copy or whatever copy be a or money man is so on fine.
I'm watching immediately.
Oh no, yes, on fine. Later, you need to see it. Now, or say, okay, just so the piece be banny at the identity or better now, why collation.
I'm watching. He has a lot of questions to answer.
Now, ma kuntokwana we journey for a life.
Who journey for life? Your man returning officer on a area more guess in a son or not the chrom. Ti omo mano enko yina no. He has to be prosecuted.
Okay.
Now, on to be prosecutor also was extending one the recruiters are returning officer.
Yeah, Electoral Commission.
Fantastic. A dear due diligence no more year. And I'm the recruiter. Monsono. Say Jean Mensah de be fear the catcher say, oh no, meeting the press and end day. And you wanted you to me yet. Or no, you man to me yet. We had a day or Bano become for no call. No, so I'm a quotation, a catcher. So we could start, I don't know. Or my quotation be a catcher on to me yet.
I see.
So the prosecution, because what is going to happen is future elections, the Uncophobia answer. Omone EC the beko nakrana eba am se show or resource almost omuluzu elusu a no machine now mama tax akwa attack back the other side no ma jomo de no so ahye na ka one side pe o se de ye scan copies and you rely on there no.
We can't continue like that.
Entina very important say you prosecute this returning officer and the district electoral officer send your beya or more any punishment or more obi a okwakoye returning officer in any elections no obi say sema mo me bre ya send your to akwesi no e betumi so to me.
Okay,
very important.
Okay,
now beyond that mo bi and this will be say you can rely on a free years scan copies onya di okay can matter so can one too many onya kakra nobody is going to accept that. Nobody will also accept a Rabna Obin's scan copies. So, the only reasonable thing that or say a